Hey everybody, Joe Brancato, the airgun scientist here at the Skunk Works Lab. And we've got some exciting news. FX has just announced their newest PCP rifle, the Panthera. A PCP airgun designed for a specific purpose, and that is to win competitions. To be honest, when I first heard about the Panthera, I wasn't too excited about it. But the more I learned about this rifle, I personally became more excited about it. Obviously, FX releasing a new rifle is big news, and it makes everyone ask these questions. Is the Panthera as good as the world's best-selling precision airgun, the FX Impact? Is it better than the Impact? Will it replace the Impact? The FX Panthera is set up to compete in what is called PRS, which stands for Precision Rifle Shooting. With the Panthera, FX is actively courting firearm shooters to try a PCP rifle that will not only compete, but win against .22 long rifles. Without making this a lengthy discussion on PRS, I'll simply state it as a demanding sport that pits shooters against challenging targets at varying known and unknown distances that are engaged from multiple, often awkward positions. Shooters may use whatever is available in the terrain, fences, walls, etc., as well as beanbags. Traditionally, 10 shots are called for per stage, and it's a timed event. In order to not just compete with, but beat .22 long rifles, FX created the Panthera as a dedicated slug rifle. In short, the Panthera is a beast with massive power equaling that of a firearm. So let's look at the design of the Panthera to see how it gets this power. Precise levels of pressure are maintained by the single amp Mark II regulator. The Panthera has a new breech block called the dynamic block, designed from the ground up for performance slug shooting. The dynamic block utilizes compact one-piece valve. The valve is a high-power, short impulse type and is extremely efficient, allowing an immense and precise flow of air every time. Wait until you see the foot-pound specs. The Plenum feeding the Panthera is revolutionary and the first of its kind. FX calls it a dynamic Plenum, and it's an over-the-barrel, I would call it an around-the-barrel Plenum. This new design provides incredible stiffness to the barrel, and it also allows multiple Plenum lengths to be employed to match the caliber and power of the rifle. Initially, 3 sizes of the Plenum will be offered: a micro Plenum for sub 12-pound rifles, a 47 macro Plenum, and a 156cc Magnum XL Plenum. I think you know which of these will be popular in the USA. The results of the dynamic breech and Plenum are extraordinary. Testing has yielded consistent 10-shot strings with standard deviations in the low 1.0 to 2.0 range, with extreme spreads as low as 3 to 4. This is significantly better than the 10.0 to 12-point range that is common in .22 long rifle. What's that mean? More accuracy, more consistency. This ability to precisely control airflow, paired with the incredibly accurate FX Superior STX barrels, along with premium slugs, will yield competition wins. And not just in airgun competitions. You can go toe-to-toe against .22 long rifle PCS. In fact, that's the whole idea of this new Panthera. And just look at these specs. Here's where FX has the advantage over .22 long rifles. First of all, you have the consistency that we mentioned, 1.0 to 2.0 standard deviation, 10 times better almost than powder burner .22 long rifle. Also, Panthera shooters will have access to more precisely made slugs from FX and other airgun slug manufacturers. Shooters that previously shot .22 long rifle will be able to shoot the same ballistic coefficient slugs and weights that they're used to, but with the control and standard deviations that only FX airgun slugs can deliver. The Panthera stock is designed for competition. It features a 14 3/4 inch long Arca rail complete with M-lock sections and a barricade block nestled to the breech. Adding external M-lock compatible weights or internal FX barrel weights that attach under the shroud, one can easily achieve their preferred ideal balance point. The Panthera further fits the shooter using a fully adjustable butt pad and an adjustable cheek piece that is also ambidextrous. The Panthera's air source is a 300cc carbon fiber bottle attached in the rear and is filled via a rear-located Foster quick disconnect. We'll also offer twin 300cc bottles in either 250 and 300 bar versions, so keep on watching our videos or just give us a call for more information. The dynamic block has a larger breech that allows projectiles of 13 millimeters, which is about a half an inch, in length. It uses the same standard side shot magazine that they use in the Crown, but with a deeper lid. So that's how they get the longer projectiles in the same magazine. What good news is that your old magazines can be retrofit with the new lid. So if you have a bunch of magazines, hey, just buy the lids, a lot cheaper. And the new magazines will have both lids, so you can do either or. The FX Panthera employs the same quick tune system as the FX Impact M3. It also has a 20 MOA Picatinny scope rail and comes standard with a zero angle grip. Now the zero angle grip is because you're going to have a 300 bar bottle right behind it. It's your standard AR type grip, and so you can put your own on if you want to customize it. It also has an ambidextrous side cocking lever. If you want to put it on the left side, go for it. It also has dual angled manometers on the left side of the block to show bottle pressure and regulated plenum pressure. All one needs to do is just glance at it. You don't have to move your head much. The FX Panthera will be offered in 3 configurations: 700 millimeter, 600 millimeter, and 500 millimeter. The 600 and 700 will utilize the FX Superior STX barrel liner and carbon fiber liner sleeve as standard, and they've been purposely built for slug shooting. The Panthera 500 will utilize a standard FX liner that shoots both pellets and lightweight slugs. The rifle allows for quick change of barrel liners, but changing calibers and changing to different barrel lengths to the Panthera can only be done by an authorized FX dealer. That's because the power plenum will be integral with the barrel and actually gets replaced with it. So it's going to be a little bit more than what they want the average guy and gal to do. Additional accessories will be offered to further customize the rifle, include a bag rider, barrel weights, offset M-lock weights, smaller profile competition mini mags, Picatinny accessory sections, and an optional tungsten hammer. So is the Impact in danger? Is the Panthera the Impact 4? In my opinion, no, not at all. If you just bought yourself an Impact 3, you're okay. Why? Because the Panthera is a completely different gun. Our next video is going to compare and contrast the two of them and show you that they're wildly different. Whereas the Panthera has some really good things going for it, the Impact on itself has its things. They both have their niche, but the Panthera is a niche gun. It's made for one specific thing: PRS and shooting slugs hard and fast. So let's talk about some of the specs that you guys and gals really want to know. Foot-pounds of energy. Let's just start off with there's 700 millimeter, 600 millimeter, 500 millimeter. The most popular is going to be the 700 millimeter because that's everybody's power hungry. They want to know what the slugs are. Right off the bat, you're looking at in 22, almost 100 foot-pounds, 96 foot-pounds. It's a 22 grain hybrid slug, 40 grains at 1040 feet per second. So that's putting out 96 foot-pounds. That's hefty. In 25, they're shooting a 55.5 grain slug at 930. That's 107 foot-pounds. And then they're shooting the 70 grain 30 caliber at 982, which is 150 foot-pounds. So that's pretty hefty. Okay, that's some good heavy stuff. But the thing is, these are consistent and more consistent than a 22 long rifle will be. That's where it's putting the Panthera ahead of the 22 long rifle crowd. And that's exactly what smartly FX is trying to do. They're trying to get the powder burner people to realize, hey guys, not only are pellet guns, which in this case, they're not a pellet gun, it's a slug gun. Slug gun's cheaper to shoot, but they're going to be more accurate by far, from 1 to 2 versus 10 to 12. I mean, it's a huge difference in standard deviation. So this consistency comes from two things. First, the power from the plenums can be precisely controlled. And two, the manufacture of the slugs is not on the huge industrial scale that 22 long rifle is. It's more, I don't want to call it a cottage industry, but a lot of these guys are. Certain guys are out there, they're pumping them out there. They're not little guys, but they're not making 100 million slugs a year where this machine's just getting tired and beat up. They're doing hand wages. This is the kind of stuff that pellet guns, I hate to use that term, slug guns can offer that powder burners just can't offer. So other pieces of information, again, we're going to compare and contrast in our next video. These first two videos are just kind of an announcement about the FX Panthera. Our next video, which is coming up very shortly, so make sure you hit that bell to be notified. We'll compare and contrast it to the FX Impact. 18 rounds in 22 cal, 16 rounds in 25, and 13 rounds in 30 cal. So why? Because that's your standard side shot mag for the Crown, except it'll have the longer, thicker lid. And if I may suggest, be a wise consumer when you're listening to the foot-pounds of energy versus the number of shots. For instance, the muzzle energy is given off with a 55 grain slug at 930 feet per second, which comes out to like 107 foot-pounds. But you'll be seeing shot counts with a 26 hybrid slug at 900. That's only 47 foot-pounds. So when you're getting the shot counts, make sure you're getting all the information. How many grain slug at how many feet for the foot-pounds of energy, and how many grain and foot per second for the shot count. Make sure they're the same. If not, you're comparing apples and oranges. I could tell you, yeah, it does 107 foot-pounds and it gets 70 shots, but no, it won't. That's a 47 foot-pound projectile, the lower ones. So is the Panthera the right gun for you? Quite possibly. Stay tuned to our follow-on video, which will be coming up shortly, which will show the strengths of both the Panthera compared to the FX Impact Mark III. It'll show you each one's strength, where each one excels. And then you can make your decision for yourself. This is Joe Brancato, the Airgun Scientist, saying take care, God bless, safe shooting, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. And that's PNEU, year.